Hello, this is Bill Steffen. Boy, we got a big weekend, a holiday weekend coming up. Memorial Day on Monday here. Got the parade in Grand Rapids at 10 and the Walker Parade at 12 on Monday. And weather should be pretty good for those parades. Hey, we got a lot to talk about. I want to start out with telling you how important tornado watches are. So far this year, there have been 62 fatalities in tornadoes in the United States. 60 out of those 62 occurred where there was a tornado watch in effect, and in many of them there was about a 2 to 3 hour warning. So take the a lot of times people complain and say that there was no warning. Well, the watches come out ahead of the warnings, and the Storm Prediction Center does an excellent job with getting those watches out before strong tornadoes occur. The other two fatalities occurred during a severe thunderstorm watch. So watches were in effect for all 62 fatalities. And when you kind of have to look ahead, if you're going to be out for the evening, maybe driving or something like that, and there's a possibility of tornadoes, you could, number one, change your plans. Number two, try and pick a route that'll steer you away from where the strongest storms are going to be. But I really want to point out the fact the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center do a great job with these tornado watches and severe thunderstorm watches. And when those are issued, you should be paying attention. Where's severe weather going to be today? Well, the Storm Prediction Center has upped the ante from level 1 risk to a level 2 risk for a good portion of the south here. That's kind of a mustache-shaped area of yellow there, indicating where there's a slight risk, and that runs from Texas in an arc back around to Birmingham, Alabama. So you already had one storm today down there in Alabama, and another one may be coming up here later on today, and then perhaps the following day as well. All that stays well south of Michigan. Now we'll take a look at the outlook here for the day on Sunday. And as you can see, it's the same area, Texas to Alabama, under the gun for severe thunderstorms. And that's where that front is kind of stalled down there. You can kind of see where it's going to be. And nothing much up here. We don't see any thunder here over the weekend at all. The chance of that is well, it's not zero, but it's probably about 2%. All right, let's go on and take a quick moment to thank our sponsors, starting with Complete Care Concierge.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed. Gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager, keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
And we certainly appreciate our sponsors coming on board, Ace Handyman Services and also Complete Care Concierge. Unseasonably cool weather for West Michigan. That's a picture that was from the Gluro camera showing the Lake Express Ferry heading out over Lake Michigan with a northwest wind coming at you at 20 miles an hour this morning. That was a pretty chilly ride. I would imagine most everybody was inside. There's one fishing boat that's passing by there as well. But the average high temperature for Grand Rapids today is 72 degrees. High temperatures on Friday were included 57 for the airport here in Grand Rapids, the Ford Airport, 50 at the Holland Channel. And look at the Muskegon Pier. The warmest they got was 48. Gee, that's wow. Normally temperatures there would be well up into the 60s, even with a lake breeze that would kick in. And it will be a bit cooler near the lake the next couple of days as well. Okay, we'll take a look at what's ahead here for us, the Lake Michigan forecast for Saturday. And by the way, look at that picture. That was from John Scully That's a kite surfer. And look at he's halfway up the lighthouse there. I mean, that's hanging some air there. Cowabunga, dude. Wow. He's got to be 20 feet off the ground there. And of course, that's pretty chilly water he's splashing in out there, but he must be having a great time. And that would be fun to watch. They can really scoot over the water, but they know what they're doing, and you can't try that unless you do. Winds here this Saturday, northwest 10 to 15 knots, waves around 1 to 3 feet. High temperature right at the water should be about 53. And again, we thank John Scully for sending us some awesome pictures from over there along the lakeshore. Okay, headlines. Overall, a dry holiday weekend. The chance of rain each day is about 5%. It's not zero, but since it's only about a 1 in 20 chance, I wouldn't worry about it. Plan on essentially dry weather here through into Tuesday morning, or at least Monday night. Slow warming trend, and albeit slow, it's still going to be coming a little bit here. Temperatures still will be below average, and no severe weather expected around here. That's the good news for everybody. Taking a look at the Whitecaps here, kind of interesting. They just shuffled the times of their games around. They had a couple of rainouts this week, so they're going to try and fit in 2 games Saturday evening. The first one is going to start at 6:05. So instead of 7:05, it's going to be 6:05, and then we go to 6:35 on Sunday. And I hope I haven't confused you with that. But evening games will come Saturday and on Sunday. The forecast, cool and dry. Start time temperature should be around 58. By the time the game ends, it'll be in the low 50s. So, and by the way, the time that second game ends could be, later. They only do 7-inning games when they play double headers. So you got 2 7-inning games, and they'll try and move them along here. But a lot of good baseball to be had. You won't get wet. Head out to the ballpark if you're inclined here Saturday or Sunday evening. A look at the rainfall out east. They had a nor'easter, which is normally something they get in the early spring, winter, and late fall. But boy, they got one here in end of May. And look at those rainfall totals. That's a 2-day rainfall. Kingston, Massachusetts, 713. Marshfield had 7 inches. We got Plymouth, Falmouth, and Weymouth all together there. And Boston even picking up over 3.5 inches of rain. The rains were accompanied by wind gusts up to 57 miles an hour. And there was non-thunderstorm winds. This is just around a low-pressure system there. And there were a number of trees and power lines down in New England because of that. Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket Island had 50-mile-an-hour winds and about 3 inches of rain. All right, we'll move on and take a look at where the rainfall is going to be. Still some lingering rain there in the east in New England. But you can see the big glob of rain, and that red is 4 inches over the next 66 hours, falling from the plain states across the lower Mississippi Valley and heading toward northern Alabama. So once again, more rain there. There's some standing water in fields. Some rivers are up to flood stage. So if you're heading in that direction here for this holiday weekend, keep an eye on things. There will be some strong thunderstorms down in that area that ranges from Texas to Alabama. Looking at the state of Michigan, the rainfall totals, the white color over Grand Rapids and West Michigan indicates no rain during the next 3 days. The light green that you see over the thumb and up toward Alpena and also across the lake over by Green Bay, Wisconsin is less than 1/10 of an inch. So that's 1/100 of an inch to 1/10 of an inch. So mainly just sprinkles and very light showers. But if anybody's traveling over toward the thumb or up to the north, up toward the Mac Bridge, it's not impossible. You could run into a very small and brief shower. But other than that, everybody's going to be staying dry. Okay, today's weather forecast looks like this. I think inland areas 59 or 60. The northwest wind may make it feel a little bit cooler than that. And the sun out will help, but generally partly cloudy skies. There will be a deck of cumulus clouds that'll be kind of scattered to even broken at the time. Broken, by the way, means about 2/3 of the sky would be covered. Scattered is about 1/3. And then mostly clear skies at night. The humidity falls to a fairly comfortable 50% here during the afternoon. But if you don't mind it, 13 degrees cooler than average, it's going to be a pretty nice day. Taking a look then at some high temperatures across the area today, you can compare Grand Rapids, the 59. They don't have Grand Rapids spelled out there. It's under Greenville, but that 59 is for Grand Rapids. 50 for South Haven. So right by the water there, the temperature is going to be kind of cool. If you're out over the open water of the lake, you can see temperatures there only in the 40s. And off to the right, you can see the warmer air trying to spin around from the west and come back into the UP, where temperatures could touch 60 up around Iron Mountain, and 52 where the lake breeze will kick in eventually over there toward Marquette. High temperatures for Sunday, a couple of degrees warmer. You can see the green color moving more toward yellow, which is up into the 60s. Grand Rapids, mid-60s here during the afternoon. 58 for South Haven here for high temperature on Sunday. You can see some 60s showing up in the UP. The lake breeze does kick in a lot along the Lake Superior shoreline. Well, it will be a little bit cooler there as well. Then for Memorial Day on Monday, the yellow color really kind of takes over, and you can see everybody's up into the 60s to near 70. I think we can probably make 70 here in Grand Rapids, but again, it will be cooler near the lake. So if you're over by the water, probably want to keep a jacket handy with you here this weekend. And there will not be, I've had Memorial Days where I've jumped in the lake and swam around for a little bit. I remember one year I was on a boat in Silver Lake, Kent County, just on the east side of Rockford, and the water temperature there was 70, and we were jumping and splashing in the water. The air temperature was about 80, and not so this year. Oh, by the way, the water temperature at Reed's Lake Inland Lake in East Grand Rapids was 69 last Friday, and then yesterday the temperature had dropped to 59. So the lake had actually cooled by 10 degrees, and you really don't see that too much, but we certainly had a change of pattern here. All right, the forecast out to 5 days. We're looking at partly cloudy skies today. We might be able to get away with mostly sunny on Sunday and mostly sunny on Monday. It may become partly cloudy during the afternoon. 59 for a high today, 66 Sunday, 70 on Monday. A little cooler near the lake. Tuesday, the warmest day at 73. We'll have a chance of a shower here Tuesday night and during the day on Wednesday. Probably not an all-day rain here, but we could see a quarter of an inch of rain right around the middle of next week. Not much change in the 8 to 14 day outlook, which takes you into the first week of June. It says below average temperatures across much of the south, and that's because that's where the rain and the clouds are going to be. We're near normal here in West Michigan, and near normal would give us high temperatures generally in the mid 70s. So we'd have some days near 80 and some days near 70, but that's a pretty good pattern. It's heating up out in the western United States. The cold air never gets down to Florida, where it still remains warmer than average, and it does warm up in New England. So that's your 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. In terms of rainfall, dry up in the western lakes here. We're not going to see much with a cool northwest flow coming out of Canada. But that same area across the south is going to be seeing rain, and there could be some potential flooding from Colorado back across the southern United States in toward Florida. And then up the East Coast, there'll be another little batch of rain there as well. Dry conditions in the Pacific Northwest. If you're looking for a stretch of a couple of sunny days in Portland or Seattle, you got a couple 3 sunny days in a row here in the early part of June. All right, let's look at weather here. Should be a nice holiday weekend. Michigan's Adventure is open for the season. I've seen some of their ads on YouTube. And I wonder if the water park is going to be open. There probably won't be many people in it, but I imagine there'll be people, coming down the slide there and everything else like that. It opened up Friday, and the water park opens for good during the day here on Saturday. Park hours are 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. The water park is open from 1 to 5. So I know some kids are going to jump in the water. I was a kid once myself. Wouldn't do it today. Daily ticket, non-discounted, is $40 or $60 at the gate. General admission in 1995, general admission was $15, but $15.95 is about $32 today. So it hasn't gone up all that much with time. And of course, there's a lot more there. There's more rides. There's the roller coasters, and it's a fun place to be. I've always enjoyed Michigan's Adventure. Okay, let's go on here. On this date, May 24th in 1903, that takes you back a while, the Detroit Tigers played a game in East Grand Rapids. No kidding. I did not know that. Of course, East Grand Rapids had Ramona Park, and it was the place to go out there with the amusement park and the beach and everything else like that. But against the Washington Senators, the Tigers won 5-4. So there's something I didn't know. So thanks, Michelle, for passing that along. Tigers playing a game in East Grand Rapids. All right, let's move on here. On this date in history, 1607, the Jamestown colony was founded. There's a lot of towns in the United States that are named Jamestown. We've got a township and a town in West Michigan here named Jamestown. Of course, James has been a fairly common name here for many years, but they survived those cold winters, those early winters here, and that was way back in 1607. Birthdays today: Queen Victoria, 1819. Harry Burnett, Reese, was the founder of Reese's Candy. I remember getting those as a kid with the peanut butter mixed in with the chocolate. 1879, his birthday. Coleman Young, I remember, was mayor of Detroit, and Jane Byrne was the mayor of Chicago. Back then, everyone was concerned about how the streets got plowed because we had, when she was mayor, we had some pretty heavy snowstorms during the late 70s here across the Lake Michigan area. Bob Dylan, born in 1941. That makes him, what would that be, 84? 84 years old. He's probably one of the best songwriters, but the times they are a-changing, and Dylan is now at 84 degrees, not 84 degrees, weather guy here, 84 years old. And Priscilla Presley, look at that, she would be 80. Wow, married to Elvis Presley. So, very interesting. Thanks for passing along those birthdays. And what else do we have here? We got one more thing to pass along, I think. East Grand Rapids trivia. The freshwater lake in the city of East Grand Rapids was named after the first family to settle the area in 1874. So Reed's was not named after a reed, a water plant or anything like that. It was named after the first family to settle in the area in 1834. We have so many nice lakes. There's a path you can walk around the Reed's Lake area too, which is really kind of neat if you're looking for a place to do some exercise, walking or jogging. And they have a nice, I think that there's the, what's the races? The Turkey Trot, one of those that goes in and around Reed's Lake. I've been out on the boat in Reed's Lake. I've been out on my kayak on Reed's Lake. Very pleasant lake to be out on. But some East Grand Rapids trivia for you there. Okay, what's coming up next? There's Reed's Lake. There's the name, Reed's Lake. Wow. East Grand Rapids trivia. There was an amusement park at Reed's Lake from 1881 to 1955. Yeah, that takes you back a little ways. There's, I think I have a postcard of the old Ramona Park here. It had a wooden roller coaster, a mini railroad, and other attractions. The park had the same name as the 8-year-old lead character in a popular children's book series by Beverly Cleary, famous children's author. The first book was written in 1955, the same year the park closed. What was the name of the park? Well, I will guess Ramona Park. So let's go on and see if I got it right. Ramona Park is right. And that's a postcard. Boy, timing, Ramona Park Pavilion in East Grand Rapids. And I imagine there are many a fun day there. You could ride the L from downtown Grand Rapids. It would go out, would it be Fulton Street? And then it would drop you off there. And then in the evening, you hop back on the L and take you back home again to all the people from the west side and everything. Or you could ride your bicycle out there. But that would have been a fun thing to do on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. Saturday after the chores were done, Sunday after church. Ramona Park in East Grand Rapids. Little piece of East Grand Rapids trivia there for you. Okay, the first couple from East Grand Rapids. Let's see, East Grand Rapids trivia. This first couple was from East Grand Rapids, although neither was born in Michigan. I think first couple probably refers to Jerry and Betty Ford. That would be my guess here. And yes, indeed, that is true. And Betty Ford grew up in Chicago, only less than a mile. I think it was closer to a couple of blocks from where my father grew up on the north side of Chicago. And Jerry Ford was born in Nebraska. One of my favorite trivia questions is which president was born in Nebraska. And nobody knows. They don't know the answer to that. Jerry Ford was born in Nebraska. His mother brought him to Grand Rapids, Michigan here when he was about a year and a half. And then another interesting trivia point on that is Gerald Ford was, his original name was King. His last name was King. And then when his mother remarried, then his name was changed to Ford. So I always tell people which president was legally a king. And the answer is Jerry Ford. He was also the only president who was a fashion model. And somebody told me that trivia, and I guessed John Kennedy. I thought he would have been the fashion model, but no, it was Jerry Ford. East Grand Rapids trivia. This former U.S. ambassador to Italy was born in Englewood, New Jersey, and died in East Grand Rapids. He was a U.S. Marine, political fundraiser, and businessman. I think I know who this is, and I will tell you that this gentleman called me once to talk about the weather from an airplane, and I couldn't believe that somebody was calling me from an airplane. I don't know, it was like back in the 80s or something like that. No, nobody's calling me from an airport. I believe this was Pete Secchia, who I believe passed away recently, and quite a philanthropist. He donated so much money. He's the guy most responsible, I think, for Millennium Park on the southwest side of Grand Rapids, who raised the money for that. So we've had some outstanding philanthropists in the Grand Rapids area here who have really given a lot back to the community. But let's guess Peter Secchia on this one and see if I got it right. Yes, indeed. How about that? Yeah, I've talked with him quite a few times. He had a number of businesses going on, including Pietro's restaurant on 28th Street. It was owned by the Secchia family. So that's nice to know. Okay, East Grand Rapids trivia. Chris Van Allsburg is from East Grand Rapids. He is the author of this popular Christian children's. It's not Christmas. It's yes, it is kind of Christmas. A popular children's book written in 1985 and made into an animated movie starring Tom Hanks in 2004. And Tom Hanks did the voice for about 5 or 6 different characters in the movie. You know, he was the bum that was on top of the train, and he was the conductor, and he was Santa Claus, and an amazing movie. It's called The Polar Express, and I make a point of trying to watch that during the Christmas season here. A great movie. There's Glacier Gulch and all kinds of fun stuff there in that movie. Okay, let's go on and show the answer here. The Polar Express. Yes, indeed. Great movie. East Grand Rapids trivia. Screenwriter Adam Hertz attended East Grand Rapids High School. His movie, originally entitled East Grand Falls High, tells tales of band camp. This band camp is called Tall Oaks in the movie franchise, but local folklore is that it was based on Hertz's experience at the Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp. No kidding. And Michelle went to the Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp for either 2 or 3 years, if I'm not mistaken, did 2 tours. And really, it's a treasure here in West Michigan. The Stansel family, I believe, started it and may still be involved in it, though we're into the next generation now. But a great place to be, out in nature and practicing your music and voice and whatnot out there at Blue Lake and Blue Lakes. Wow, okay, what was the movie? Wouldn't have been Mr. Holland's Opus, would it? Let's go to the answer and see. American Pie. Okay, I don't think I saw that one, tell you the truth, which is no relation to the song or the movie by Paramount that I happen to land in, of all things. That's my one movie credit, I guess, is the biopic on the song American Pie, and I get about 3 seconds worth in that movie. And I made the trailer for the movie too, which was kind of interesting. Okay, let's go on here. Picture from John Doherty. That is a sunset, but a beautiful picture there. He is up in Benzie County. So that may be Crystal Lake, maybe. It could be over by Lake Michigan there. But we thank John for all the many beautiful pictures that he has shown. It's going to be cool up north, by the way. There's no frost advisory in effect, but I would imagine some of the really low spots north of Big Rapids could pick up a touch of frost here over the next couple of nights. 99% of you will not. So for most of you, you don't have to go out and cover anything up. We got anything else here for us? I haven't looked through the slides ahead of time. Michelle put in one of the same slides that I did. This is a different slide of the same thing about this guy that was out here kite surfing in the afternoon over toward Muskegon. And that's pretty incredible. He was up, about 2-3 stories high there, the wind pushing him along like that. That would be fun to do. I went surfing once when I was in Hawaii. I actually rented a surfboard and went out, and I got a bruise under my chin from having the waves come and bang my head down into the board. And I think in the hour plus that I had the board, I only got up on the board twice, where I actually went a sizable difference. But it was worth it. It was fun. I was actually a beach boy. Woohoo! Okay. Hey, have a happy holiday weekend. I'll try and do videos here Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So come on back and check and see what we can come up with. Michelle's going to try and come up with some trivia for everybody too, but it was fun learning a little bit about East Grand Rapids. Thanks so much again for sticking with us till the end, and have a great day and a great weekend.